Hello, everybody, and thank you for watching this recording. In this recording, I'm going to be sharing my experiences at a specific hotel with you, and I want you to evaluate the value I received at three different points in time. We have to think of value as a product of service, quality, and price. So service, quality, and price all affect value. So while listening to my story, think about how the different things that are happening in the story are affecting my the quality I received, the service I received, and the price I received. And based on changes to those three items, how it affected the overall value I received. I'm going to tell the story, but before I do, I'd like to break up the story into three different areas or time periods. The first being pre-arrival, so before I arrived at the hotel, during my stay, and then after I had checked out, or post-stay. So before I stayed at the hotel, I was our group was quoted for a stay of $140 a night for a deluxe king bed room. When I called to make the reservation, they told me that all those rooms had been taken up, and the only ones that were left were a two double bedroom. The price for the two double bedroom was quoted on the phone at $180, so $40 more than the king room. And I had no choice. I had to stay at the hotel, so I booked. But as I was booking with the lady, my fiance showed me online that I could get the same room $20 cheaper at $160 a night. So I brought that up to the lady. The cheaper price. Okay. So fast forward a week, and I arrive at the hotel. I did arrive early, and I was allowed to check in early, which was really awesome. But after I checked in, I noticed that the shades on the window were all water stains. So there was white stains all over the drapes, which was not particularly nice. But anyway, so I went about my day, and then I woke up the first morning. I went and had a shower, and I was leaving the bathroom, and there was steam in the bathroom. The steam escaped the bathroom door and set off the fire alarm at 6 o'clock in the morning, and the fire alarm was located just outside the bathroom. After my panicky 5 minutes of trying to get this fire alarm to stop and calling the front desk and telling them it's not a fire, it's just steam, I noticed that the fan in the bathroom was non-functional. Maybe an hour later, before I was leaving to go to the conference, I went to the bathroom. It was then that I noticed that the toilet was not 100% functional. What I mean when I say that is, yes, it would flush, but I'd have to hold down the handle for a minute. And even though, whatever was in the toilet seemed to go down, it also came back up, which was a little weird and kind of gross. And because there was no fan in the bathroom, well, you can kind of, guess what I'm trying to get at. So at this point, during my stay, the blinds were dirty. There was a non-functional fan in the bathroom, and the toilet didn't work so well. So there's a couple things going on there. We had a break during the conference, and I let the front desk know of the three issues, and they said they would send up maintenance. And I said, okay, perfect, that's great. They have the opportunity to fix it. I fast forward to 8 o'clock that night when I finished at the conference and I arrived back. I went up to my room and I noted nothing had been fixed, nothing had changed. So again, I went down to the front desk and I had let them know. I let them know again that nothing had been changed, and they said they would send up maintenance again. I said, okay, sounds good. And then periodically through the stay, periodically throughout the 4 days I was there, I'd have to leave the hotel, or I was standing out front with a few a few colleagues of mine, and I was continuously harassed on all like 5 occasions by people walking by for various things like money or cigarettes and stuff like that. And when I brought, and it was quite stressful because like I'd be outside once and I'd get asked to have my future told. Been asked for cigarettes and money, like by 3 separate people. It was crazy. It was like kind of like a shark attack, swarming me. Anyway, so I brought it up to the security, to the hotel. They let me know it's not the greatest area, and if next time I go out, bring security. There'll be security there for me. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever, because apparently there's usually security there. And the next morning, I was heading to the conference, going to the meeting rooms, and I guess the hotel, it's connected to a mall, so it's pretty much open to the public, with no security. And I was walking towards the meeting room where there was coffee and snacks left out, and the coordinator was trying to get several people who were not with our group to leave because they were taking our coffee and our snacks. She eventually got them to leave, but it wasn't security that got them to leave anyway. So all the stuff had happened. I went to check out. I checked out early because I had to go to my last meeting. I brought all these issues up and that they still hadn't been fixed or stuff like that. And the lady at the front desk offered me some coupons. I said no to the coupons because I'm not from the area. And she eventually gave me $40 off my stay, keeping in mind that my total stay cost over $600. So I wasn't quite pleased with that because it didn't really rectify or even show the gravity of the poor experience I had. So I was kind of upset, but in the moment, because I had to go to my meeting, I didn't argue. I just kind of left it as is. I could pick this up later. After I had checked out, so this is kind of after my stay now, I was standing out front with a colleague who was just returning from a meeting, and I had my bags and I was waiting, and he was having a cigarette, and a couple approached us, and the gentleman asked for 2 cigarettes, and we both declined. Then he asked for money. We both declined. Then the lady he was with got upset, started calling us names, pulled out a wood nail, so a big, long wood nail, and threatened us with violence. She told she was going to stab us in the chest for not giving her a cigarette. So this was quite upsetting, as you can imagine. But as my Uber was on the way, we just kind of stood there shocked. We didn't know, is this actually happening right now? Are we on TV? I don't really. Anyway, my friend, he got a phone call, so he kind of disappeared for a bit. My Uber was on the way. So I quickly went into the hotel, let them know what happened, and their response was, yeah, this isn't the greatest area. Next time you go out, we'll bring security. Which I think from the story or from my experience, we can understand that wasn't really going to help at this point. So anyway, I got on my Uber, flew back to Toronto on the red eye, which was a terrible idea. I'll never do that again. And as I reflect on my experience, this was probably one of the most awful experiences I've ever had at a hotel, to the point where I told my program coordinator that under no circumstance will I ever go back to that hotel. You couldn't pay me to go back to that hotel. He replied with, yeah, we're not going back, because he had a lot of the similar experiences that I did. Okay. So now what I'd like you to do is think about at 3 different points in time how changes in my experiences were affecting the value I was receiving by examining how changes to the service, quality, and price that I received, and how those things changed over the course of my stay. Thank you for listening.